people were walking across the street.
Wear good shoes so you can go up and down, up and down.
But once she got it, we basically battle like while the tournament's going on. Like, okay, I'm going in a
West
meeting. You
or-
can have it.
Lots of places I've been.
Okay,
where-
I'm on me. I
Yeah,
want
do you want
that.
to? Do you need a to-go cup for that, or you can drink it here?
Fun. It's been fun to watch. You sit, you sit there refreshing. Oh, triple. What happened, Joey? Oh gosh.
I know exactly. Good afternoon. I'll call to order the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission for the month of May 2022. First item is to consider our consent agenda matters. Does anybody have any questions about the minutes or the monthly utility operations?
Heine, if I could make just a couple comments. I just wanted to let you know that on page 15 and 16 of the report, we did add all of the capital items as you had requested at the work session. So that should be all of the capital items for the year 2022. If you have any questions on those at any time, you can ask. And the other item just wanted to bring up was under the administrative and meter reading section, I did put just a little bit of a comment about natural gas prices. We have been monitoring them. Natural gas prices are going up at the same rate that gasoline prices are. So right now, we're seeing gas prices at a 14-year high, and really a lot of extreme volatility in the market. And so we do have weekly calls with Connect Energy, who is our helping us buy natural gas. And they're basically saying they're just that the psychology of the market has been changing. There's really no fundamental drivers for the high prices, other than basically fear and uncertainty of what's happening in the market. And so the volatility in the daily market is affecting the futures market, and so we've been watching, staff has been watching that as well, and how that will affect our hedging policy going forward. So I just wanted to let you know that we are watching it and are on top of it, but it's kind of a crazy market out there, not only for, gasoline, but also for other commodities as well. So
Probably grateful that we did that contract with, is it Connect?
it's Connect Energy, yep. So they have been, unfortunately, we signed with them and prices raised. It's not any fault of their own, but they do have a lot of expertise in the market, and they're able to really kind of guide us through that. And the other thing, the hedging program that we are in, we are seeing some benefit from that. We actually have some gas locked in for the summer at $2.77. Today, natural gas was at about $7.64. So that is helping to bring down the average cost or the pool cost of that gas. So, sometimes you win on the hedges and sometimes you lose, but in this particular case, we definitely are winning, so.
So when you say we're at a, how many year high did you say?
14-year high.
Is that for this time of year though? Like the spikes that we saw?
Yes, for this time of year.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, you do not see gas prices at $7.64 in May.
Because back in February, we were seeing what? We were seeing much higher than that.
We were, but that was more of a
anomaly.
spot
Yeah.
price. This is a consistent.
Okay.
The range has been anywhere from about $8 and maybe 20 cents to what we're seeing today at $7.64 for the month of May.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's in that high range consistently. The benefit in February is we had 4 days of high, but we did, we were able to see some lower gas prices on the other days of the month in February.
Was that like a year ago? February is my, wow. Okay.
Time flies.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else on the consent agenda items? If not, we could entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we want to recognize Garrett Loudermilk as Employee of the Month.
Yes, Garrett is a boiler operator in our electric production department. Over the last several months, Garrett has been here, he has proven to be a great asset. He is one of our newer employees. He's learned the operations of the plant very quickly, and when he was told that we were switching boilers, he had no problem accomplishing the task. And for being here for such a short time, that's very helpful. We have some young staff. Garrett also understands the boilers and their controls very well, and in a recent boiler outage, he responded quickly and calmly without any problems, and he had the boiler back up and running in a very timely manner. So everyone enjoys working with him, and he's a great asset to the electric production department. So congratulations to Garrett Loudermilk.
6 months, did you say?
Wow.
The motion to recognize Garrett Loudermilk, Boiler Operator, Electric Production Department as Employee of the Month for April 2022.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And on to another employee with a few more than 6 months.
Yeah, I have the pleasure of offering Dave Nidecker, who has been with the power plant for nearly 43 years of service. Dave started out as a temporary laborer with the electric production department in March 19th of 1979. He was hired full-time in August as a coal handler, back when we burned coal. He was then promoted to a fireman trainee, and at some point, the fireman was changed to a boiler operator. Dave's position was then reclassified from a boiler operator to a relief operator. And in 1995, Dave returned to the boiler operator position and he was promoted to relief plant operator. He has been the plant operator since May 7th of 2000, which he has held since his retirement from the PUC on May 1st of 2022. So congratulations to Dave Nidecker on his retirement.
So,
I'll offer the resolution and waive the reading commending Dave Nidecker, power plant operator with Electric Production Department for nearly 43 years of service with the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Commissioner Finley? Yes. Commissioner Hillersheim?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis?
Yes.
Commissioner Visser?
Yes.
And President Heine?
Yes. The resolution passes, and congratulations again to Dave. Derek is up next for the Tom Bovitz Scholarship.
Good evening, Commissioners, President Heine. So this is a wrap-up from a previous approved agenda item, the Tom Bovitz Memorial Scholarship, the local $500 scholarship. The individual selected was Claire Fisher, senior from New Ulm Cathedral High School. She is planning on attending South Dakota Mines and Technology and majoring in civil engineering. So the next plan after the meeting is to maybe hopefully get a photo op and see if we have permission to put her essay in the next newsletter. And yeah, that's kind of the wrap-up of that process.
So she's our local scholarship winner.
Their local scholarship, yeah. Unfortunately, after I did the agenda item, MMUA did notify other utilities who their selections were. They were individuals from Austin Utilities, Piers Municipal Utilities, Rochester Public Utilities, and Elk River Public Utilities. So unfortunately, she was our local entry was not selected by MMUA, but she's still getting $500 from us.
Right, and it was a nice essay.
yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. It's
Yeah, they
engaging.
said they had numerous good essays and they had a lot of entries, so yeah.
It's good.
I'll offer the motion to approve Claire Fisher as the 2022 Tom Bovitz Scholarship recipient.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
We need somebody to serve on the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. Do you have any? Tell us what it's about.
Mr. President, Commissioners, the city is currently redoing updating, revising its comprehensive plan. And one of the suggestions from the consultant was to have a member from the PUC be part of the steering committee. The steering committee is currently right now just the planning commission, but we would like to add a couple more members to round it out. And considering utilities will be a big portion or a portion of the comp plan, having a member from the PUC serve on the steering committee. We would like that input, so you're aware and can report back to the commission on the comp plan. Right now, we're looking at meeting at a minimum once a month, at a maximum twice a month, depending on the month. We're working on that timeline currently, so we'll have a little bit more information within the next couple weeks, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
What's the expected timeline?
So we're looking at a total of 12 months, so maybe May to June of next year is when we'd be done with the comp plan. Steering committee essentially would dissolve once they make the final recommendation to City Council for approval.
I personally had a little bit of interest. I'm not going to fight for it if there's others who have some interest
I
as
had
well.
some
So-
interest as well.
Okay, so
Sure.
make a motion to appoint.
Sure.
Anybody else can do it? Well, I would make a motion to appoint Seth Visser. Motions too. Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
And I will get the information as soon as we get it from the consultant. I'll send it over to you.
All right. And then Dan is presenting regarding the 20th Street upgrades project. As soon as his
Online.
attorney.
That's
City
our
attorney.
City attorney.
Oh.
We'll introduce him at the end under
Okay.
announcement. Commissioner comments, I
I don't
guess.
recognize that name. Okay, well, that's why I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, I'm here to present on the wastewater improvement project that we're just finishing up. And of course, on the cover slide, and one of the people redlining it was nice enough to point, you sure you mean 2020 on here? Yeah, we started the project in 2020, so it's, with lead times and everything, it's taken longer than it was supposed to, so. Quick snapshot of financials. An interesting thing, I did check before I came up here. When we bonded this project, we got about 1%, and I don't know what the current bonding is now, but that sounds pretty good to have 1% to me for $1.8 million. So now for the technical part, this will be the aeration basin diffusers. That was a relatively big part of it. The wastewater plant had been having problems meeting the dissolved oxygen limits, especially during summer heating or warm summer. Because water wants to give up the oxygen when it's warm out. We're hoping by putting new diffuser heads in, it'll reduce some energy demand and allow us to use the smaller K turbos rather than the 900 horsepower roots blowers in the summer. A couple of years ago, they actually had acid washed the existing diffuser heads. It did help a little bit, but didn't go back to how good it had been when they were new. So hopefully we'll get a few good years out of these before they're, again, have to be replaced. We have a total of 4 basins, and each basin has 2,520 diffuser heads. So it doesn't sound like much, but when you're doing 10,080 diffuser heads, that gets to be a pretty big project for somebody to have to go down there and do it. Next, we got the primary sludge pumps. These were original from when the plant was built, so they were 48 years old. The original ones were didn't have soft starts or VFDs; they were just direct start. So hopefully we can get some efficiency and better utilization with them, with the ability to fluctuate what the demand is. or
Are
follow
you
their
talking about VFD? What does VFD stand for?
variable frequency drive,
Oh,
so you
of
can
course.
take and ramp it up from, like for this pump here, you can generally ramp it up from about 120 gallons a minute up to the 240 as you need it. So like our wells, we can take them from maybe 200 gallons a minute and take them all the way up to 400 gallons a minute as the plant or as people are using things. It just follows the load. And then when you're using them, ramping an electric motor up slowly, you don't get that inrush of current, which is a big spike. It more eases into it, so it's a little more energy efficient that way also. And here's the details of the pumps. Basically replacing in kind with what was there, just significantly newer. Now thickened sludge pumps, again, 48 years old, direct drive. Now we're, again, VFDs. These have a little smaller capacity, only 200 gallons a minute. But this, again, is the thickened sludge. So this is, at the end of the process, sending it over to the ATAD building. 20th lift pumps. Again, they were 48 years old. Replaced the VFDs. These did have VFDs on them. But these are dry application submersible pumps. So you see the complete pump is down here. We are eliminating the long drive shafts. There used to be, the actual pump was down here, but the motor was 3.5 stories up above on the main deck. And with all those knuckles in that shaft, you're losing efficiency the whole way through the process. So again, we should be able to save a little money on electricity with this and replace 48-year-old pumps that handle 98% of this wastewater from the city of New Ulm every day. And again, they're 110 horsepower capacities, 3,000 gallons a minute. So again, like I said, there was VFDs up here. Oddly enough, while we were waiting for these to come in, one of our old VFDs decided to give up, so we had to take one motor out of service. So the project was probably done very timely, so we didn't have to emergency repair them all. These are Allen and Bradley, and then they're just matched up to the horsepower of the electric motors down below. And then the unwanted present, we found one of our lines was leaking, so we had to do 2 change orders. One was to order the contractor to get in their line to put us on their work list anyway. And the second one was to do the bypass pumping to line this. This is, if we would have had to take this pipe out, it would have probably been about a month of waiting by the time they cut the wall out, replaced the pipe, put a new sleeve in, waited for the concrete to cure. And we only had to bypass pump for 5 days with this. They did it in a full week. We could have actually been done a day sooner, but we elected to give them the full cure time because we didn't want anything to go wrong. One and done kind of idea.
They can, so a pipe that's leaking, they can recast it in place?
Yep. And this is the gravity sewer. They've been doing it for quite a while, but this was a specialty contractor out of New York that does a lot of pressure pipes. It's kind of, they do this kind of stuff, or like underneath manufacturing facilities, or
So no
places-
dig up, just something goes in there and recasts it.
Yep, they basically super clean it. I mean, they clean it so it's almost cleaner than new probably. Then they go in there and they line it, and it's a polymer liner. I don't want to say plastic, a polymer that they spray it on. Then it has to have so long to cure. And when it sets up, it has a 25-year design life. I'm sure we'll be testing to see if it does make 25 years, but it's pretty impressive. And doing this the other way, the old way, would have probably been a $500,000 project. Just did it for under a fifth the cost.
Wow.
They've come a long ways with some of them spray-in liners and stuff like that, and they're getting better every year.
Wow, that's impressive. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that before? Dang, that's That's new to me.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of, like, we've done a few, or city engineering's done some manholes too, where they'll line the manholes and things like that, where they just basically goes down and sprays it in place and it'll cure, and that protects the manhole for another unknown amount of time.
Could it be done in a homeowner's property?
Um,
Like a leaky pipe?
They do
through a-
lining for homeowners, they'll do
Will they?
pipe lining.
yeah, they
okay.
can.
Can they?
It's kind
Okay.
of, at some point though, it becomes
Process,
cost
yeah.
prohibitive,
Okay.
you know, because there's some mobilization and stuff like that for them to come in and do it. It's getting the crew to show up is kind of the expensive part of it. The actual chemicals that they put in and to do it probably are embarrassingly cheap. I'm glad I do not know that number.
All right, thank you. Interesting.
Yeah, and then like I said, we had about 4.5 days down, and this versus 28 day for cure time for concrete. So with that, any questions, comments?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
No. I will make the motion to receive and file the wastewater and 20th Street upgrades project presentation.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Dan. Let's see, phosphorus trading.
Yes, you have seen this agreement in the past. In 2016, we came to the commission asking to allow the utility to sell phosphorus credits to the city of Redwood Falls. This is because Redwood Falls is unable to meet their phosphorus limits within their permit. They had a new permit that was issued. There's some language that the MPCA asked them to change. And so this is basically just a revised trade agreement with the city of Redwood. The city council for Redwood has approved the trade agreement through a resolution at their April 19th meeting. And the updated agreement will arrange for a trade of the same amount, 1,522 K gallons of phosphorus annually. And they're agreeing to pay $30 per credit of the phosphorus at an amount of $45,660. I think it was $25 in the previous agreement. So this is just, to help Redwood Falls out. We don't, we have the ability within our permit to have room for this. And so the MPCA allows us to sell credits to them.
Did the last one go for 6 years? Or was it just a single
I think it was
year?
it was a renewing contract. I think there's a 60-day notification clause within the contract. This is only being brought to you because they had a new permit issued, and there was some changes with some requirements in the Lake Pepin area, and so that's what caused the new requirements. So it's just it was just some language, and as well as the old city manager was on the contract, so we updated that and then took out the Lake Pepin information.
But if we ever need more room to discharge phosphorus, we can get out of this agreement.
We can.
Yeah.
We can.
Do we know why they have such higher needs up there than we do here? Was it local industry or?
I'm not sure if it's,
Or do they have different?
they must have a different blend of waste that's coming out. But, we're not near the phosphorus stream that's allowed to be put into the Minnesota River.
Meaning we're way under what?
We're way under, yeah. And so they look at it as a whole. Everybody's allocated a certain amount, and since we have the ability to have some room, then we're able to sell it to Redwood Falls. If we needed it, of course, Redwood Falls would have to do something different. Probably $1 million improvement to their wastewater treatment plant.
You're
so.
saying MPCA is okay with this because overall, since we're not putting much in, let
Yep.
Redwood put a little more in is still.
Right,
what
their
they deem
levels.
Safe enough for the river.
Right, their levels stay the same. Dan, did you have a comment?
Yeah, we're way under. They have a different process when they need to do some pretty massive upgrades to their plant
Well, it's at the plant level, it's not
for
something
Redwood, yeah.
with their customers.
So we process significantly better.
Right,
than
we've
they
done some upgrades throughout the years, like the BioP project and stuff like that, that we're being mindful of this exact permitting issue.
Yeah.
Good.
It's $45,000, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll offer the motion to approve and sign the revised trade agreement authorizing the New Ulm Public Utilities to sell phosphorus credits to the city of Redwood Falls.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. A loader purchase for water, steam, gas.
Yeah, this is just an informational item for you. It was, as we discussed, it's under the $50,000. So we purchased a 2022 Kubota through the state bid process, and it falls within the budget for 2022.
It looks like it falls well within. Did it say we had $60,000 budget for it? So, okay.
Well, we also got a trade-in. I think the trade-in value was $31,000
Right.
for the, so.
So I'll make a motion to receive and order file the purchase of a 2022 Kubota SVL 75-2HFC compact tracked loader in the amount of $33,410 from Arnold's of Mankato, Minnesota through the state bid process.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And then we need to look at a joint meeting with the city council, June 21st at 3:30. Work with everybody?
I will not be in attendance.
No for you? Okay. And I've got something else going on that day that should very likely be done, but might not be.
And you'll be able, you can get a copy of the auditing point time and ask questions if you need to ask
Yeah,
questions.
my recollection of the nature of this meeting is that,
It's just a high-level summary of the audit results for
Right.
the year.
right, we need to pay attention to it, but we'll be okay. Okay.
The nicest thing that they provide us.
And we don't require a quorum, it's not going to be a meeting, okay. Okay,
Works.
so do we think we're okay agreeing to that date despite possible conflicts? Okay. Do we need a motion to schedule that, or is that just a?
Yeah, you might as well make a motion.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll make the motion to schedule a joint City Council Public Utility Commission information meeting at 3:30 PM, June 21st, 2022, to discuss the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2021.
A second.
Any discussion?
The only thing I'll mention is Abdo Myers is now rebranded as Abdo.
Yeah, I should have changed that, yeah. I think we copied over the last year's request, or motion.
So that's the only thing I'll say.
That's the only discussion?
Yep.
Okay. With that discussion, is everybody ready to vote? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Last item before our comments is the report of claims.
I'll make the motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $2,865,991.74.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. So, you previewed comments, so take it away.
Robert is our new city attorney, and he's on the line if you want to introduce yourself to everyone.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Robert Scott. I am an attorney at Flaherty and Hood in St. Paul, and we were honored to be selected to be the new city attorney starting, I believe, May 1st. So we've got a couple council meetings in at this point, and it was a pleasure to have eavesdropped on your meeting this afternoon. So I think as long as the commission and your staff would like us to do that, we will continue to attend your meetings and be available for questions. We'll again, unless instructed not to or asked not to, we'll review your packets, and if we see any issues, try and sort through those before we get to the meeting. So at future meetings, it will either be myself or one of our associates, probably Kara Brown or Brooke Hine, who would attend your meetings, but all of us will enjoy working with you. So I don't know if anyone has any questions, but it's nice to meet everyone virtually.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, good.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Any other comments before we adjourn? No? Okay, we are adjourned.